Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Miss B. Of course, I'm here with another afternoon randomness. And I'm sitting here at my desk. I'm doing my schoolwork. If you all don't know that I am back in college and I'm going to Purdue University where I am working towards my first master's and then my PhD simultaneously. So, yeah, that part in psychology, more specifically applied behavioral analysis, and more specifically behavioral cognitive applications and things like that. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just going to be on here very briefly, but I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking back on a lot of things that took place maybe this week and maybe weeks or months prior to, and then thinking about forward movement and how that looks, how that has the potential of looking. And I've come to know that even in my own journey, I've come to realize that you just may have to do this thing by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You just may have to do this by yourself. And it's okay. It's okay. All of the people, the comfortabilities, the familiarities that we are so accustomed to, i.e. our family, parents, siblings, our friends, that we've had from childhood up until now. It's just, the familiarities, all of the familiarities that we are just accustomed to, that we've grown very comfortable with, and all of those things. When you go to evolve, then sometimes where you once perfectly fit in, you are now uncomfortable in that tight spot. You no longer fit because you've grown. You've gotten bigger. This is the one case where we enjoy getting bigger, right? You've gotten bigger, and now you don't fit in that spot anymore. You're squeezing and you're trying to fit in that spot. You are adjusting yourself. You're squirming to fit in that spot simply because this is where you've always sat. This is where you've always fit. With these people is where you've always found yourself. Like, this is your comfort zone. This is where, this is just how we do. This is just who I am. That's the mindset. However, what once fit you now is uncomfortable because we just realized that we've outgrown where we once was. And that's okay. A lot of us are very, 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 very scared. Let's just be honest. We're very scared of what life looks like outside of our familiarity, outside of the people that we were raised with, outside of the people that we were raised by, outside of, our circle, our dynamic where, they know me, but we have to come to the understanding. This is the understanding that I've come to, me personally. Let me keep it home right here. Let me keep it focused on, me, first person, right? And that is, I no longer fit in my comfort zone, in my place of familiarity. I have completely and utterly expanded out and grown out of that, my spot, whatever my spot was in the dynamics that I'm in or that I was in. It's no longer conducive for my growth. Here's the thing. If I stay there and conform, because that's really what you're doing, you're conforming to remain there, then I would only be doing it to satisfy everybody else in all of the familiars. I would only be doing it to please them and make them happy at the sacrifice of my own fulfillment and happiness. How many of you does this resonate with? Okay, because how often are we doing this? How often are we sacrificing our own joy and fulfillment and expansion and growth? How many times have you denied yourself a promotion, or denied yourself travel, or denied yourself relocation simply because, oh, but I don't want to, or my mama, and, or, my daddy, or, my friends. How many times have we not given ourselves permission to expand and evolve out of something, out of the familiar, and stepping out, going out of the four walls of your comfort zone? All because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, or we don't want to leave anybody by themselves, or we don't want to, turn our backs on, or whatever. The day is over for me and you to live our lives based upon the comfortability of somebody else. The day is over for me and you to deny our own growth, expansion, evolution, because we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. At some point, you have got to come to the resolve, peaceably, right? But you've got to come to the resolve that you just might have to do this thing by yourself. But here's the thing, though. It appears to be by yourself, but don't you know that the beautiful way that the Creator is set up is that when you begin on this journey that seemingly is your journey by yourself, that there will be a whole new tribe of people, a whole new set of people that is there to support where you now are, not where you once was. And they don't know who you once was, so they're going to receive you at your new self. Because it's very difficult for old people to accept your new self, because they cannot see you through the lens of new, because they're stuck seeing you through the lens of old. You haven't been that old self in years. Say, for instance, this is an example here. A former inmate is released from jail. They've done their time. They committed the crime 25, 30 years ago. Okay, they did their time. They come out, they're released, and then they're back into, society. Returning citizens. They have been out of the penal system for years. But old people that see them, the first thing they're going to make reference to is what they used to be and what they used to do. Instead of accepting who they are right now. That was an old me. That's not who I am today. In fact, they don't know who you are at all today. And they're not trying to accept who you are right now. They only want to see you and refer to you as who you once were. That old person in that old skin. So what do you do at that point? Do you take your time and your energy to convince them? Try to convince them? Oh, no. I know, that used to be me, but, this is me now. No, see, watch this. Look, I went to school. I did this. Are you going to exert your energy trying to make someone get to know who you are right now? Even if they refuse to? And then if you do that, then how long are you going to invest your time and energy in making someone get to know who the new you? Making them believe that this is who you are today and not who you once were yesterday. How long? Because all of this valuable time and energy that you're exerting and giving up, this time that we didn't know that we were going to be blessed with anyway, all of this time that you're taking to convince someone else that does not have to walk in your shoes, mind you. They got their own life to live. But you're taking your precious time and your energy on something and putting it on someone else to try to convince them, when you can be using that same time and that same energy to do what? To continue your journey. and to continue to expand and to continue to grow and evolve and continue to become the very person that you have started off to be. I am no longer interested in convincing someone of who I am anymore. I am no longer interested in making anyone pleased with who they think I should be. I'm no longer interested. Who I am is who I am. What I do is what I do. How I do it is how I do it. And that's it. Now, here's the question, but it's not left on me, it's left on them. Can you accept that or not? Because if you can, great. Then we can still be copacetic. But if you cannot, that's unfortunate, but it's still great. It's unfortunate, but it's still great. Because guess what? That means that you gonna have to make peace with that, not me. Because I'm still going to be me regardless. I'm still going to do what I do regardless. I'm still gifted at what I am gifted in regardless of what your opinion is. Regardless of what your thoughts are, regardless of what your judgments are, your convictions, your criticisms and all of those things, regardless of any of that, any of the things that you think you know about me, I refuse to exert any time and energy on making you or convincing you of who I am today and making it make sense to you, because it don't have to make sense to you. I'm not here to live for you. Nor are you. So if you're listening to this and you have lived your life trying to convince people of who you are and what you're gifted at doing and why you're supposed to be doing this and that and the third, if you have lived your life trying to appease people, dear heart, I'm telling you now, let it go. Let it go and just simply be. Let it go. You have to come to the understanding that you just simply may be doing this by yourself. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay. Because it may look like you by yourself, but I promise you, you're not. You have a tribe of people behind you. You got your angelic court. You got your ancestors. You got, power. You got the creator. You got everybody. You got everything behind you, supporting you, which outnumbers greatly the number of people that's not supporting you. So really, you're giving your energy over to a small percentage of things and beings. You need to give that energy over to the ones who actually giving you the ability and the wherewithal and the push and the support to do what it is that you're doing. Do it peaceably. Do it with conviction. Do it with passion. Do it without regret. I live my life. Listen, these very traits, these very attributes probably afforded me a couple of whoopings back in the day when I was a child. And that is that what was known as rebellion or what else? Rebellion, whatever. It was so many different other names I was called as a child because I spoke my mind. I stood true on how I felt, and I couldn't be muzzled. I couldn't be shut up because these are my feelings. They don't belong to nobody else. They're mine. Okay. And I can't be told how to feel. I can't be told what to say, how to think. I cannot be controlled. I can't be controlled. It's a joke that I say right now, even with my parents. I say my parents are still, and I'm in my 40s. My parents are still trying to figure out how to raise me. Okay? Because I'm not the one to be controlled. Not at all. Now, as a child, I obeyed and I did what I had to do because I was supposed to and I had to and I had no choice. If I wanted a roof, if I wanted to eat food or whatever, provision, I had to do what I had to do. But I will say this, the moment I was able to step away and live my life, how I wanted to live my life, I lived it. Even with mistakes, I scuffed my knees, I scuffed my elbows or whatever the case. I lived my life. I traveled, I sang, I pursued my gifts. You know what I'm saying? I wrote, I recorded, I did all of the things. I played guitar, all kind of stuff. I did so many things and lived a life of experience. Lived a life of experience. And that was all prior to stepping into the beauty arena full time. Something that has been my passion since I was a child. Okay? I would sit and watch my aunt and my mom with their mannequins and just sit with them for hours on hours on hours in the salons. On hours. I'm talking about hours on hours. I was not the child that ran outside and played outside all the time. No. I had my playing outside days, but I watched. I was an observer. And the beauty about my observations was the fact that I can watch a couple of times and then I could duplicate it right then and there. That was the beauty about my mind. I understood my mind. I understood how it operated. And I gave it what it needed. It needed stimulation from a child. And that's exactly what I gave it. I refused to live my life based upon somebody else's opinion of me and what I should be doing. When I was working in corporate, I worked in corporate in accounting. Even went and had an associate's, pursued an associate's in accounting. Knowing good and doggone well that is not what I wanted to do. But I did it because it was something that I was convinced to do. When I realized and when I really stood flat-footed and said, you know what, this is not what I want, I stopped. And I pursued beauty full time. Because that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I did. And did it well, mind you, to the point where I pursued not only my license, but I also went and pursued teaching and instructorship. Did it well. Still do it well. Okay? Opened up 2 salons. 2 salons. All right? From there, then you transition to the next thing because multiple purposes live inside of you. Know that. It's not just one, it's several. Multiple purposes live on the inside of you. Okay? Music, singing, all of that stuff, that was there. Yes, and I pursued all of that. Then transition over to beauty. That was there. I pursued all of that. Still got my teaching license. I still teach. Then it went into coaching and things like that, which is something that I had been doing while in the beauty arena anyway. I've been doing that for years. And so I pursued it, got my certification, got my accreditation to start it and do it right. Right? I did that. Did it for years. And love it. Absolutely love it because I love helping people. Truly helping people. And when I did that, I then said, okay, now it's time for me to pursue and do this under the helm and the license of psychology, right? Because for some reason, the government needs you to have a piece of paper on the wall somewhere. So I'm doing that. But I also pair that with my spiritual experience and mastership. Yes, mastership, because I actually have pursued schooling for that as well. I have a master teacher located in the UK right now that I deal with on a regular basis, whose classes I take on a regular basis, whose materials I pursue on a regular basis. I don't have associates spiritually here. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm dealing with and learning from and being taught by. No. I have some people that I actually are in my corner and that we collaborate and we do, you know, some team building and things like that. And we build and grow off of each other. But I will say my teachers, my master teachers spiritually are abroad. And I learn from them. This is why I'm familiar with more than only the small speck of spirituality that some Christians are, you know, stuck in. This is why I know there's more. Even in the Bible, it says, go ye into all the world. Not stay right there in your small bubble and circle of comfortability. Go ye into all the world. You must understand how the world operates and what's ye in the world. Okay? In order for you to reach the world. And I'm grateful to say I have reached I've reached abroad. I have so many spiritual godchildren under me, so many hundreds around the world, because I refuse to be in a box. I refuse to be in a box. I know what's in me. I've always known what's in me, and I pursue what's in me. This life is your life to live. Yours alone. You are not indebted to anybody, okay? Other than the one who gives you life and breath daily. You don't have to please anybody other than yourself. That's it. That's all. Sometimes you have to understand that you got to let go of people pleasing and put on purpose pleasing. And sometimes you pursuing your purpose requires isolation, complete and utter alone time, in order for you to truly elevate the way that you have to truly elevate. You know why? Because if you keep yourself around familiar spaces and familiar people who don't understand the purpose on your life, who don't understand what it is that you're supposed to be doing and the level at which you're supposed to do it, they will try to stop you. They will try to interfere with the process of you elevating. They will try to hinder you because it don't make sense to their human brain. Because they don't understand it. Because they have a one-dimensional understanding of what it is that you called to do. Guess what? It's your calling. It's not theirs. It don't have to make sense to them. Their only job is to support it or move out the way. Period. A spiritual brother of mine told me years ago, either you are going to help or you are going to hinder. And if you are a hindrance, you have got to go. Period. You talking when I'm talking, we ain't talking at all. I'm no longer interested in trying to convince anybody of what I'm called to do. Period. If you don't understand it, that's horrible for you. But guess what? It's okay. It's okay. There's a peace in that. There is a peace. You want to talk about unbothered? Baby, unbothered. You're not going to destroy my peace. I am sure about what it is that I'm called to do. Are you? While you worrying about what somebody else doing, let's look at the calling on your life and see if you're completely fulfilling that thing. If we really paid attention to our own plate and our own giftings and our own purposes, I promise you, we would not have time to be criticizing and ridiculing and judging somebody else. We'd be too busy focused on our own stuff. So if somebody is criticizing you, baby, trust and believe that is telltale sign that they got too much time on their hands, too much free time, too much. Because they should be pursuing their purpose just as much as you're pursuing yours. And how they do it is none of my business. None of my business. Okay? Sometimes you have got to understand that this journey that you walk for your own life is one that you might have to do alone. And guess what, honey? It's okay. It's okay. You'll be fine. You are highly supported. You just may not see them, but you are highly supported. There are way more with you than there are with them. Trust me. Okay? Stay focused. Pursue. Overtake. And recover all that belongs to you. Stay focused. Elevate. Stay focused. Quiet the noise, because that's all it is. Noise makers. Quiet the noise. Keep your focus. Maintain your peace. Don't argue with anything of anybody about anything pertaining to you. It's your life. It's your life. Your instructions come from above, not from around you. Not from the naysayers. Not from the spectators who ain't living their own purpose and fulfillment. I say it all the time when I'm dealing with business clients. Do not take constructive criticism from someone who has not constructed a thing. Period. It's simple. Live your life. Live your purposes. Fulfill what it is that you're called here to do, what you were given this life for. Do it fully and completely. Quiet the noise. Stay focused. I love you. I mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing, and I mean nothing, that you can do about it. Have a phenomenal weekend. We will see you tomorrow. We're reading Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping, okay? 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you then.